These are the realities of my community. I like to say the cradle of inequality is the inequality of the cradle. But, like every one of you in this room, I believe that where you start does not have to determine where you finish. And that is what gets me up each and every day. But the reality is, by design or default, my kids walk past this. This is 6 blocks from my school. This is what my kids see every day going to school. These are our playgrounds and our schoolyards. In this age of let's move, yeah, let's move. If what? You're a bottle, a stray bullet, a broken glass. There's nothing aspirational and inspirational about that. And as jobs continue to leave communities like mine and energy is constantly being imported, and no wonder our cities are looking like deserts. So I'm out to change that. But the one constant I know is change. And while constant is change, really, change has become the new constant. And while, yes, I like safe, I like inclusive, I like equitable, and I like transformational. So I am not willing to accept the things I cannot change. I am going to change what I cannot accept, and that's what I do every day. And for me, it all starts with seeds. And the kids, they're my seeds. So let me tell you about my seeds. 100% of my kids are either special needs learners, English language learners, homeless, foster care. Many of them are parents themselves. Those are my seeds. And in the back of my classroom, something's always growing. It's called plants. It's remarkable. No floaters in the tank, no poop to scoop, and nothing that eats their young. Inherently, plants really, really grow. You should try it sometime. It's kind of cool. And you see how attentive these kids are to their plants. They love it. So much so that we built 6 acres of farms across the Bronx. Kind of cool to think, in the middle of the South Bronx, we're farming. We got 6 acres of farms that look like that. Pretty cool. I love it. But what am I really dedicated to? Overcoming barriers, motivating youth forward, and hoping that forever my reach will exceed my grasp. So, you want to be disruptive? I got 2 words for you people. Take responsibility. If you want to be disruptive, take responsibility. You want the advanced placement class? Here it is. Own it. Own it. And I own it each and every single day. So when I learned that I could put 700 tomato plants on a wall, probably the size of the screen, the oldest 6th grader in the room, me, thought that was pretty cool. I also like tomatoes. And what I wanted to do is get that experience in school. So I figured that if I could take that and bring it in school, that's exactly what I did. And I gave birth to the first edible wall in New York City. And ladies and gentlemen, this is my harvest in school in the middle of the South Bronx. And this right here is my tool of mass instruction. I got a big shovel for the college-bound kids, but in this big technological age, this is my tool of mass instruction. And what do I do with these kids? We cook. We clean. We do all kinds of stuff. And these are my heirloom kids making heirloom sauce in a school that once said tomato, ketchup is a vegetable. And we put it right into the cafeteria. And what else do we do? I started getting involved with project-based learning and linking this to 21st century learning skills. And we decided we started to start installing green roofs and green walls all across the country. And we did. And we started taking over buildings and taking ugly institutional buildings like this and partnering it with technology and looking at retrofitting and LED technology. And ladies and gentlemen, the greening of America starts with the pockets, as in money. And then it goes to hearts and minds. That's what's going to change things. And these are the youngest nationally certified workforce in America, on top of the courthouse with the Bronx Borough president. But we were just getting started because we learned we had something to export, our talent, our diversity, and our skill. So the following summer, we started going to places like the Hamptons. And to think that kids who had no access to backgrounds like this could design, build, and install landscape is kind of cool. And get paid for it, even better. We had so much fun. The next summer, guess what? I call this the Jeffersons moment. From South Bronx to Southampton, we moved in. And we spent the summer out there working and earning living wage. And my kids built this. And you can believe their pen stayed up, too. But to think that my kids built that and they grew this is rather remarkable. And that's the story. It's really kind of simple. So you may ask yourself, what does this technology do besides change mindsets and landscapes across the South Bronx? Well, this guy here figured it out. He said, your future farmers, they're an amazing workforce. And wow, are they? And we started taking over this other resource, this national treasure, abandoned buildings, and retrofitting in our own community, building wealth and building value and building community. And this young man is the first in 3 generations to have a bank account. This young man 10 years ago from Africa was foraging for food. Now he's growing it and he's making living wage, teaching it in 4 different languages across the country. When you can take kids and design parks and exteriors and interiors that look like this, it's worthy of CNN, and they came down. We said, come on down, see our classroom. It was kind of cool. I like to say it's unbelievable. But my kids get paid to take care of that landscape too. Now, it's not just about poor people, because this is about ecotourism. It's about generating a new consciousness, a new awareness, new destinations. And when kids from the poorest congressional district in America can design, build, and install a green wall that looks like this in the heart of Rockefeller Center, that represents jobs today, tomorrow, and into the future, which is really rather remarkable. It's scholastic, in fact. I've spoken there too. But when the state senator and Bronx borough president come to my classroom, it's proof that the Bronx can change attitudes now. And man, are we. To think that my kids put in 100 gardens one year across New York City is rather remarkable, and look how inclusive it is. But most importantly, when my kids started taking the money that they made and sponsoring orphanages and crisis centers around the world, I realized we were onto something. There was something green for everybody, and lo and behold, we gave birth to the Green Bronx machine. And in this age of STEM, I'm telling you that my kids, we're cooking with steam. And what does the A stand for? The A stands for art, aspiration, and advocacy. And what does it really look like in practice? Well, on a simple basis, it means taking recycled products and thinking about how we relate to our environment. On a bigger level, it means looking at our community and looking where we live and how can we make an impact. This is our block. My school is here, right there. That is ugly. It is hot as hell in the summer and cold in the winter. When the rain comes, it goes right down the hill into the garbage, all around New York City, including you guys. So, we started drawing and dreaming, and we started writing grants, and we started breaking ground. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the new South Bronx 2 years later, and here we are, marching up our neighborhood. Now, you can see where there was no business, now there are many. Business after business where there were none. Yes, I'm a teacher, A, B, C, D, but this is asset-based community development at its best. Now, you don't need to live here. You could be an absentee landlord, but all of us benefit when we have a community that looks like this. Talk about disruptive.